His mother never came back, and he gave up. He stopped crying on the third day, not because he was okay, because he had nothing left. He was 6 weeks old, barely the size of a man's fist, curled alone inside a foam box on the side of a road in late November. His fur was damp, his ribs were visible, his eyes were half shut. The people who found him did not know what to do. They posted photos online and waited for someone to claim him. Nobody did. For 4 days, that foam box was his entire world. 4 days of cold floor beneath him, 4 days of silence above him, 4 days of waiting for a sound that never came. He did not meow anymore. He just curled tighter and waited. He was just the kitten in the box, and the box was starting to feel like a coffin. 40 miles away, a man named Gerald was sitting in a kitchen that used to feel like home. He was 67 years old. He had lived in that house for 31 years. Every meal at that table, every morning at that window, every quiet evening in that same chair by the lamp. But his wife Ruth had passed away 4 months earlier, and now the house was just walls. The coffee went cold every morning because she was the one who always chose the shows. The bed on her side was still made exactly the way she left it. Gerald had not laughed in 4 months. His daughter called every Sunday. She always asked the same question. "Dad, are you okay?" He always gave the same answer. "I'm fine, sweetheart." He was not fine. He was disappearing, quietly, in a house full of memories and absolutely no sound. It was his daughter who saw the post, a photo of a tiny striped kitten curled inside a foam box, eyes barely open, fur matted at the chest. She printed the photo, drove to her father's house, and set it on the kitchen table without a word. Gerald looked at it for a long time. "I don't know anything about cats," he said. She said, neither did he, but he's still here. Gerald was quiet for a long moment. Then he stood up, put on his coat, and said 2 words, "Let's go." When they arrived, a volunteer carried out the foam box and set it gently on a table. Gerald looked inside. The kitten was pressed into the corner, trembling, eyes wide and unfocused. He looked like something that had already decided to stop fighting. Gerald reached in slowly. The kitten flinched but did not run. Gerald let his hand rest there, palm up, completely still, just waiting. 30 seconds passed. Then the kitten took one small, uncertain step forward and placed his front paw on Gerald's hand. Gerald did not speak, but his daughter said later that she saw something move across his face in that moment, something that had been gone for 4 months. He signed the papers before they even got to the car. The kitten rode home on Gerald's lap, still inside the foam box, peering cautiously over the edge with those wide, careful eyes. Gerald named him Samson, not because of any grand reason, just because the name felt right for something so small that had somehow refused to disappear. The first week was not easy. Samson hid under the couch for 3 full days. He ate only when Gerald left the room. He made no sound at all. Gerald was used to silence by now, so he did not push. He sat in the armchair by the window each evening, reading aloud from the newspaper the way he used to read to Ruth on Sunday mornings. He did not know if Samson was listening. He read anyway. If you are still here watching this story unfold, you already understand why these animals matter so deeply. Please hit subscribe so we never have to leave a story like this one unfinished. On the 8th night, Gerald awoke at 3 in the morning. He lay in the dark, feeling the familiar weight of the empty side of the bed. Then he felt something else, a small, warm presence near his feet. Samson was curled there, eyes open, watching him in the dark. Gerald whispered, "You came out." Samson blinked once. That was all, but Gerald understood. The weeks that followed changed both of them in ways that are hard to put into words. Samson began to grow. Slowly at first, then suddenly, the way Maine Coons always do. His legs stretched longer, his chest filled out. His fur, once damp and matted, grew into something thick and layered and almost regal. He learned that Gerald's armchair was the warmest place in the house. He learned that the sound of the newspaper meant it was safe to climb up. He learned the exact moment Gerald's alarm went off and was already waiting at the kitchen door before Gerald reached it. Not asking for food, just there, just present. Gerald started drinking his coffee while it was still warm. He started sleeping through the night because something living was always near his feet. His daughter noticed it before Gerald did. "Dad, you laughed," she said one evening, watching Samson chase a bottle cap across the kitchen floor with enormous, slightly clumsy paws. Gerald looked surprised, as if he had not realized it himself. "I suppose I did," he said. Samson was 8 months old when Gerald had a health scare, a sudden dizzy spell in the bathroom, a hard fall against the counter. Gerald managed to reach his phone and call for help, but before any of that happened, something else happened first. Samson appeared in the doorway and cried, a loud, insistent, almost desperate sound. Gerald had never heard him make anything like it before. He cried until Gerald moved. He cried until Gerald answered. He cried until he was certain Gerald was still there. The doctor told Gerald he was going to be fine. Gerald nodded and said, "Thank you." Then he went home, sat in his armchair, and let Samson climb slowly onto his chest. He placed his hand on that thick, warm fur and held it there. And he thought about what it means to be truly seen. Not admired, not useful, just seen. Ruth had seen him that way for 31 years. He had not believed anything ever would again. He was wrong. Samson is 4 years old. He weighs nearly 17 pounds. He fills the armchair completely when Gerald is not in it, as if keeping it warm on purpose. He still meets Gerald at the kitchen door every single morning. He still sleeps at the foot of the bed, watching over the quiet dark. He is not a small, trembling thing in a foam box anymore. He is enormous and calm and completely certain of where he belongs. And Gerald is not disappearing anymore. He laughs now. He drinks his coffee hot. He tells the story to anyone who will sit still long enough to hear it. He is still grieving Ruth. He will grieve her for the rest of his life, and that is as it should be. But grief and joy are not opposites. They can live in the same house. They can share the same armchair. They can both be real at the same time. Because sometimes the thing that saves you does not arrive with any warning. It arrives trembling, half the size of your fist, pressing one uncertain paw into your open hand, and choosing you just as quietly as you chose it. If you have ever loved something that could not say your name, but somehow knew exactly who you were, you already understand everything the story was trying to tell you. Now tell me honestly, if you had seen that foam box on the side of the road, would you have stopped, or would you have told yourself that someone else would handle it? Let me know in the comments below.